Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Thursday afternoon, just before Friday, Monday morning podcast. And I'm just checking in on you. Checking in on you. I need your help, man. I need your help. Guess what I have? I have the iPhone 7. Oh! Well, what are you going to Comic-Con, Bill? What do you got all the latest technology for? I'll tell you why. I was fucking making some goddamn fucking potatoes, and I had my fucking iPhone to the side on the sink, and water splashed around, and it got in it. Got in it somehow, and then the thing just went, oh, and just fucking shut off. Right as I realized it, I thought the fucking countertops, I didn't see it. I fucking set it down this little, was in a rush, fucking, peeling potatoes like a fucking goddamn Mick. I don't know what the fuck I was doing, and I looked over. I'd washed a couple dishes, and I always lose sight of where my phone is. It was near the sink, and there was water from, those pots and pans and stuff sprays, and it was just sitting in a fucking puddle. And my wife was just like, shut it off. Throw it in a bag of rice. It was like MASH without a happy ending, and the thing just fucking died. And I didn't save any of my contacts. I had zero phone numbers. I lost all my photos and all my video from my European run, my trip down to Amalfi. I lost fucking everything, all kinds of shit. I lost a picture of my fucking Ludwig drum kit when I played at the Roxy. The shit that I lost, I didn't even want to fucking think about it. And, but you know what? Most of it I forget anyways. It's like all that clutter that you got in your fucking house, all the magazines you save, and you're never going to go back to them. If somebody actually snuck in your house and took half of it, other than the space, you wouldn't miss it, right? So this is my thing. I know a lot of you guys are thinking, well, Bill, why don't you just put it on the iCloud? And it's because, I don't even know if I said this because I had to start this fucking thing twice. Yeah, I don't want somebody at fucking, I just don't want somebody else having my shit. I mean, is that so? What? Can you fucking imagine, like, back in the day, if somebody, older people, you remember when you had your little black book, all your fucking phone numbers, remember all your family photos, your slides? Can you imagine if some corporation, we'll hold on to these. You'd be like, fuck you will, you weirdo. What are you doing with them? So, and the reason why I never backed them up to my computer is because I could never figure out how to do it. I mean, I Googled it and all that shit. It says go in the iPhone section of your iTunes, click on the info fucking tab. I have no fucking idea where it is. I've looked up on all these things. There's no video of it. There's all this shit. Hey, how to go iPhone to iPad, ass to fucking mouth. They got everything except how for me to put my fucking phone numbers in the contact book, which I could do a few phones ago. I know you guys think I'm a fucking moron. I know you think I can't read. I know you think I suck at reading out loud. And you know what? You're right. But I'm not at the age where I used to know how to do shit. Now I don't. Okay, give me a little bit of credit. I'm only 48 years old. I'm not 78, 88. That's when that shit creeps on. Okay, I knew how to do this shit. It used to be fucking easy. You used to do it automatically. You just fucking plug it in, and then all your fucking numbers were on your computer. Now they've made it really fucking difficult. And the amount of times I just thought, just give in, man. Put it on the cloud. Let the ghost of Steve Jobs handle it. Fuck that guy. There's a reason why God took him so early. He needed to fucking slap him around first. Okay? He needed to yank that fucking turtleneck right up over his head. Jesus Christ, Bill, the man is dead. He had children. I don't give a fuck. I can't figure this out. Okay? So people have to get hurt. Okay? Oh, I felt good. So if anybody knows where the fucking goddamn fucking info tab is in the iPhone section of fucking iTunes, it can explain to me how the fuck I can save my own phone numbers. I actually went into Barnes and Nobles. It's a bookstore, everybody, for anybody under the age of 40. They used to sell books. They still do. And they're, oh my God, what a collection of fucking human beings that are in that place. The last of the last. The last of the book readers, right? Like the last of the blacksmiths, the last of the people with the crank start fucking cars, last of the Mohicans, right? Last person to take a shit in CBGBs before they turned it into a John fucking Varvatos, all right? I gave you so many examples, I can't remember what the fuck I was talking about, but all I know is I need your help, okay? I don't know. I went to the fucking Barnes and Nobles. Or is it Barnes and Noble? I don't even know. Once I see Barnes, I'm like, yeah, that's it. What is it? Benny Barnes? Guy's a fucking drug dealer. He's either in jail or he's hiding. That's Nicky Barnes. I don't fucking know. Benny Barnes. Who the fuck was Benny Barnes? Was that one of the cats on Top Cat? That wasn't John Leguizamo. It was Benny Blanco. Benny Blanco from the Bronx. Who the fuck was Benny Barnes? He was somebody. That's too cool a name to not have been somebody. That is somebody. Anyways, we'll get back to that one. I'll look that one up later if I still know how to fucking turn my computer on. God knows on the new operating system. Maybe that changed. So I walk into this fucking bookstore. And I walk up to this woman, who's just like one of these people who probably she's the one who should be running the country. All right? But she's, but she's not going to do it because she's a good person, because she probably doesn't like telling people what to do. She probably doesn't feel qualified. All right? Unlike those two complete fucking psychos can you imagine if the two of them had a kid? If Trump fucked Hillary, what would come out of that fucking pre-presidential snatch? I can't even fucking imagine. The lack of feeling. It would have black eyes. Whatever it had. And you'd look over and it would be sitting on the swing just staring at you and you would be fucking horrified. So much of this has to do with the fact that I can't upload my contacts. All right. So don't take it too personally. Anyways. By the way, you know what? I barely noticed because I'm just like every other fucking mouth-breathing moron just watching the football season. Did you notice how there's like no pink in the NFL? Like they toned it down over the last 3 years. They kind of fucking tapered off. Isn't that amazing? And you know why that is, right? Because the NFL raised so much money for cancer awareness. They put such a dent in the disease that they don't have to do it anymore. That's what happened. That has to be what happened, because if that's not what happened, then I guess the NFL doesn't care about finding a cure for cancer anymore. There's no fucking way that's true. It's kind of weird how that happened. Kind of weird how it fucking went all the way the fuck up, and then it just kind of tapered the fuck off, and people are still getting cancer left and right. That's kind of weird. I thought that was like, I thought they were all about the families. Supporting the troops. Charging them for those pictures, right? Supporting the fucking troops and all that. Those fucking cunts. They got in bed with that pink lady. They all got their yachts. People are starting to figure out like, hey, where the fuck is all this money going? You know where it's going. It's going down to the pink twat fucking strip club, and all the owners go down and they fucking bang away while their wives are fucking, I don't know, driving around in their pink fucking caddies. They stepped away. The NFL stepped away. They just backed up. They just slowly fucking backed out of the room. Now they just got a little pink fucking thing on the, this is all my conspiracy theory. They just have a little pink thing on the field. Let's say it's maybe 30 paces around. Next year it'll be 15. And it's just going to gradually disappear. And then maybe one guy in October in the NFL will get pink eye. And that'll be the last fucking thing. And they'll just fucking step away. They made their money. They're going to let that lady take the heat. You know what I mean? They're going to play Babe in the fucking woods. Oh, we didn't know. We thought it was on the fucking boot, but you know what you were doing. You took all that fucking pink money, you cunts. God, I'd be in such a great mood if I could just fucking... You know what's great is today, the amount of fucking phone numbers. I got to tell you, having not used the iCloud, and the only fucking number that I knew other than mine was my wife's. That's it. I knew nobody else's. I'm trying to think if there's even like a commercial on TV. What's that one? Hate. That fucking phone number. The 77's at Carmel. I know that one. It's a car service in New York, I believe. I don't know if they're still around. I think they are. Those are like the only ones that I fucking knew. But I mean, I got like a fucking, I swear to God, I feel like I got 100 phone numbers back already. Let's go into the old fucking iPhone 7, which for some reason you got to buy this umbilical cord in order to, this little mini umbilical cord that's $10. $10 for this little fucking thing that you're going to lose. If you're like me, I mean, I've probably bought 15 fucking chargers for every phone that I have. I always lose them. I always leave them. And those things are actually, You know, they're long enough. They're like an emaciated garter snake. I mean, with a big fucking head. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't be losing those. Forget about this little thing. I mean, I don't think it's longer than an inch. So the problem is that now with the new ones, I guess when you charge them, you can't listen to your music, which of course is just a major problem for everybody, including me. Forget about all these political prisoners around the world. Forget about the children that sew together your flashy fucking clothes. Let's talk about how us in the first world can now not plug our phones and charge them while listening to our music. Okay? I know it's a first world problem, but of course it is. I live in a first world. Jesus fucking Christ. Let me see how many fucking contacts I have already. I put that guy's name in wrong. Gotta fucking fix that one. I've just been obsessed all fucking day long. All day long, just everybody who... I had to take every call. Like, once you lose all your contacts, you don't know who the fuck's calling you. It's like, Jesus, I gotta call this guy. What if this is the guy calling from the thing? What if something amazing is going to happen, you know? And it's just the same old bullshit fucking phone calls. Let's see here. All right, done. All right, then you hit this. So the new thing about this one is it's fucking waterproof, which is great. Oh, by the way, if you want to get there's a Belkin Lightning 3.5 meter adapter, Belkin. They're $15. And if you get one of those, you can charge it and listen to your music at the same time. So they have filled the void. The proverbial void created. Was it done on purpose? When we return. All right, so let's see what I got here. How many fucking phone numbers do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what? I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to count these fuckers and let you know. All right, I'm back. Quick count. 113 phone numbers recovered in fucking in 24 hours. That ain't bad. I'll get another 100 tomorrow. You know, but there are some that I'm just like, fuck, I'm never going to get that guy's number. You know what I mean? You got to, when you lose all your numbers, there's like, rather than just trying to get to everybody, you got to have hubs. You got to be like, all right, this guy, he can give me 5. Okay. And that one of those 5 will lead to another 5. And the thing is, you can only hit each person up for about 5 numbers. Every once in a while, you find a fucking sweetheart, which I did, and she'll give you a zillion of them. My wife gave me a zillion. You know, the woman that I put the Patrice O'Neill benefit together with, she gave me a bunch. And I'll just kind of keep going and going and going and going as we get this thing together. But I lost all the photos, and you know what? I think I'm all right with it. Whatever. You know what? I got them up here, man. Got them up here. The greatest hard drive ever, man. Your brain. I keep threatening to get a flip phone again, but I can't because everybody is just, you know, when you run your own fucking business, even if that is shit jokes and everything, and people are sending you emails and you have to sign shit and scan shit, at some point you got to have one of these. And I also love having all this fucking music on it. I really do. Oh, that's another thing too. When I plugged my new fucking iPhone in, I lost like half my music. How does that happen? I don't know. Is it in the cloud? Is it on the stars? Where the fuck did all my music go? I had every fucking AC/DC album. Now I have like 4. Where the fuck did they go? Oh, I know. I'll call somebody up at iTunes, and I'm sure I'll get them on the phone shortly, and they'll help me out with it. Fucking hostile cunts. You can't get to anybody. You know what? This must be what it really fucking feels like as you grow older. Is you just feel the world cares less and less about you. You're just like this old horse ready for the glue factory, and then we can't make any money off this guy. This guy can't carry anything, man. Fuck him. And you're just sitting there, well, why can't I get anybody on the phone? You know, like, you know what I'm really feeling bad for right now is Hugh Hefner. You know, Hugh Hefner was and always will be the fucking man. All right? And he had the magazine, and because of new technologies, nobody's buying magazines anymore. They tried to revamp, they tried to keep up, blah, 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 blah. Online porn, all this fucking shit. They just couldn't keep up. And he ended up having I don't know what he had to fucking do. All I know is he put his house up for sale, and part of the sales price was, you know, that Hugh's going to live in the house until he dies. And then you get it, and you can do whatever the fuck you want. And oh man, what a fucking, this bit, I got to tell you something, man. I said this to Nia. I'm going to forget how I said it. I was just talking about Los Angeles. Los Angeles is an extraordinary lonely place to die in. But he does have kids, so I think he'll be all right. Dude, if you go out here and you make some money and you get some fucking whores and you get some blow and you take the fucking ride, what goes up comes back down. And when you come fucking back down and you got no cartilage left in your nose, right? And your fucking hairpiece is fucking flopping around. I mean, then you're just sitting there. And whatever's left of your house that used to be the shit, now you're sharing it with somebody else, right? And you're sitting there slowly dying, knowing I'm dying, and then knowing in the background, hearing the cars going by, right? And just knowing it's going to keep going without you. They're going to keep making movies. There's going to be beautiful women, and they're not going to fuck you, and it's over. It's over for you. I hope you had a good fucking time, buddy. All right? I know, it's fucking morbid as shit, but, I can't get my phone numbers. It'll be fucking hilarious as if you went country to country. What's your biggest fucking problem? And, or like neighborhood to neighborhood. You know what I mean? All this Black Lives Matter shit. And I'm fucking sitting here. I can't get my fucking phone numbers to sync with my contacts. There's people with diseases. There's war-torn countries. And I am throwing literally at a 48-year-old man having a fucking shit fit because I can't get all these fucking people's. And what's funny is pretty much at this point, I have everybody's phone number. I got all my friends. I got all my family, pretty much. I got all of that. And I got my business contacts. And I don't know. You know what's the worst thing about losing all your numbers is you lose all those do not answer ones. Fucking psycho, don't pick up, all of those ones. Jesus Christ. And I have to pick up. I'm one of those, I got to pick up. I'm like, oh, what if this is Steven Spielberg and he's doing a reboot of E.T. and he wants me to play E.T. He wants me to fucking crouch down and I'd fucking do it too. I'd do it. I don't give a shit. You want to stick me in a fucking movie? Go, whatever the fuck you need me to do there, Stevie. You want me to sling the mud around as I'm looking at a volcano? Is there some flying saucer playing some fucking music? I will do that in oh, that's the lead. I never understood that movie, Close Encounters. I wanted to see it so bad when I was a kid. When I finally saw it, I was just like, that's it? That was the fucking movie? That really looked hastily put together. You know what I mean? Like, I don't maybe I got to watch it again. Maybe I'm just a football watching fucking moron. But when I watched that movie and Richard Dreyfuss is just sitting there, like listening to this, whatever, like it was like a Simon Says, but it was a flying saucer going like beep, boop, boop, beep, beep, beep. And he's going like, wait a minute, man, wait a minute. And he's throwing like fucking mud at this volcano. And somehow he gets it. He gets what the fuck's going on. And, I don't even remember the end of the movie. You know what? I don't remember most. Where the fuck do I get off criticizing a movie? Having never made one, right? Like that, like being the director and the creative force. I never fucking did that shit. And I can't even remember how it ends. That's not going to stop me from criticizing it. I didn't like it. 2 freckled thumbs down. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. There's a lot of fucking movies that have done really well that I just don't understand. There's the classics like Chariots of Fire. I don't know who the fuck that was for, but when I sit down and I saw that movie, I could literally smell the house of the person that liked that movie because I had a paper route and I knew what those kinds of people smelled like. You know what I mean? The heat was going to be on too high and it was going to have that musty smell of someone beginning to die. You know that, there is an old person odor. And it's, you ever meet somebody who's like almost your age and they already have it and you're just looking at them like, do they realize they're already dying? It's the smell of decay, How does that happen? I mean, Jesus Christ, that's like a fucking car if you don't start it up every day. I don't know. Is that what happens? I don't fucking know, but I'm not the brightest guy. I mean, I can't even upload my contacts onto my fucking computer. But I know after this podcast, I will be able to because I've reached out to you, the common man, the person, the common lady on Twitter. And you know what I love about you guys? I know, You're going to teach me how to do it, but you're going to, hey, you stupid freckled fuck, blah, blah, blah. You're going to give me all, and I don't give a shit. I will glide through those insults to get to this information. I've already wasted a fucking hour of my life trying to figure out how to do this to avoid being in this exact same fucking situation. I was actually, when I was at the fucking iCloud store there, whatever, iTunes store, the Apple store, right? I fucking go in there. Let's see if one of our geniuses, they literally say it with a straight face, one of these geniuses can figure out. But who's kidding who? I can't figure out how to do it. So in my world, I guess they are a genius. So this guy was cool as shit. He goes, did you store anything on the iCloud? And I go, well, not on purpose. I might have clicked something by accident. And we were just sitting there. He goes, well, click on this. Wait a few seconds. He's like, no, nothing in there. Well, maybe your photos. Maybe save a few photos. Click on that. And I'm like, nothing. He goes, no, wait a second. Just wait a second. See if something comes up. Yep, nothing there. And he goes, how come you don't use the iCloud? And I go, it's fucking creepy to me. He goes, well, it's a really safe, totally secure system. I go, yeah, until it isn't. He goes, yeah, I know. I want to thank everybody who tries to help me out with this fucking thing. If you're listening to this and you have my phone number, text me, send me a fucking text. Because chances are I don't have your fucking number in my fucking iPhone 7. I'm calling it right now. That little umbilical cord that hangs off that thing, I'm going to have to buy at least 9 of those before I buy the next one. This is the first time I've gone from like one number to the very next number. Like I kept the iPhone 4S until I got the 6. I had the 3, and then the iPhone 4 came out, and then I get the every other one. I never had the 5. I got the 6, and I was like, fuck the 7, especially when people are complaining about something new, right? Like this one is so stupid to buy. I would not buy this phone because what's going to happen is they're going to figure out this little appendage fucking thing. They're going to figure it out. And you know what? They already have it figured out. They have the next 9 complaints already figured out, and they don't give a fuck. They just put it out like this so everybody can be like, well, it's 99% great, but what about this, right? So, I wouldn't buy this one. I would wait for the 7S or possibly the 8. That's what I planned on doing until I was making them mashed potatoes. All right, I got to read this fucking thing here. All right, so the Ryder Cup is like, I don't know what it is. I fucking hate golf. I don't hate it. I like smoking cigars. I like getting drunk. But I can't, the fucking assholes stand over the ball for like 9 hours. You're going to slice it. Just fucking hit the thing and drop another one. And they all fucking cheat. You want to talk about fucking cheaters? Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, I had a 6. 6 what? Fucking lost balls, you asshole. We fucking saw you whacking at it. One of my favorite things to do when I golf is I count every fucking stroke. If I'm teeing off, whatever the fuck you call it, right? If I swing and miss, I count that fucking thing. Because people go, no. I was trying. That counts. You cheating cunt. You know why there's so much cheating in fucking golf? Because the people, generally speaking, who play it are not fucking athletic. You got a lot of bankers. You got a lot of stuffed shirts. You got a lot of people just motivated by fucking money. They were never picked in gym class, okay? They had their underwear yanked up over their fucking head, and it had this anger in them. Oh, I'm going to show them. Someday when I come back to the fucking high school reunion, I'm going to have this fucking unbelievable car or whatever the fuck it is that deal. Or maybe they're born into money. Or maybe I'm just completely full of shit, and I don't like the sport because my legs are white like the mozzarella. Maybe that's what it is. But anyways, I've been telling you guys that I really like wearing golf clothes. It's so fucking comfortable. It's breathable and movable because there's so many fat fucking unathletic fucks that play that game, and they got to walk around. Who's kidding who? They get the golf cart and they waddle up to their fucking ball. You know what I mean? They got all this shit. Their fucking socks matches a stripe in their collar, right? They got the baggy shit on. And you know them when they go back with the club and they got to move that fucking mush of man tits and belly underneath that shirt. You know what I mean? Like the way your lat is, or where that lat should be, right? There's all this it's all marbled, and that shirt has to fucking stretch, right? So because of those fucking people complaining to the clothing companies, I'm telling you, the shit is crazy how comfortable it is. I love it. My wife hates it. So anyway, so the Ryder Cup is basically when the Americans play, I don't know, I guess we play Great Britain and somebody else who gives a fuck about golf. And it's country versus country. It's like the Olympics, except nobody really gives a shit, right? I know people care, right? So anyways, there's some fucking guy, Danny Willett, and he has a brother, and his brother just went off on Americans, the American fans. It's fucking hilarious. And I guess, of course, it's some big goddamn controversy because somebody had the nerve to call Americans, you know, I've never understood why you can't do that. Or why if your brother says something fucked up and you're in the public eye, all of a sudden you have to answer for it. Like this guy was like stammering, like apologizing for the guy. I'd be like, who said it? Your brother. Who? Who said the thing that you're upset about? Who said it? My brother. Right, yeah. Well, fucking go talk to him, you cunt. The fuck? And why can't they say that? Why can't they say that? And why does that make the sport lose fans? You know what I mean? You know why? Because there's fucking kids in the world. Oh, my kid heard that. Well, did he? You know what else he heard? He heard you fucking your wife the other night. All right, that's his mother. What do you think that did to him? What do you think was worse? Oh, Jesus, Bill. I'm always grabby when I fly that day. All right, here we go. So anyways, so I guess they're playing each other. And I guess we play in England in golf or some shit. Like anybody gives a fuck. I guess a lot of people give a fuck, but I don't. So I assume no one else does because I'm self-centered. So anyways, his brother was texting with somebody. This is once again, I don't know how somebody found this, if it was a fucking email or whatever. Well, why don't I read it for you? Danny Willett was quietly going about his business during a Ryder Cup practice round Wednesday morning when all hell was breaking loose on social media thanks to a scathing screed his brother wrote for a website in which he called Americans fat, stupid, greedy, classless bastards. You know what I love about that? That guy, he just hit the nail on the head. Can we fucking argue any of that, generally speaking? Come on, let's go through them. Fat, you got us. Stupid, yeah, I'll give you that. Greedy, absolutely. Classless bastards, totally, 100%. Dude, this guy's insults on the fucking golf fans that show up to this thing, it's like when Larry Bird would just be doing the 3-point contest and he just kept shooting them through the net, you know, and when he ends it with classless bastards, that's the 2-point ball, the colored one in the end. Dude, I read this thing. Like the headline says, Family Feud, Willett's brother, however the fuck you say his name, it just says, Americans, fat, stupid, greedy bastards. And I was on the plane and I bursted out laughing. And I was like, please let this article be as much of a joy to read as the headline. And it was. He said here we go, stupid. I can't even say this word. The excoriating of American golf surely was not a part of Darren Clark's captain's handbook, part of which states the visiting team shall not rile up the opposition's home crowd with trash talk. These were some of the choicest of his words in the article. I got to read this fucking article. This is what he said. For the Americans to stand a chance of winning, they need their baying mob of imbeciles. The only thing that can make this funny is listening to this guy say it in an English accent. This is the greatest shit I've read in a while. To get their baying mob of imbeciles to caress their egos every step of the way. Team Europe needs to shut those groupies up. They need to silence the pudgy, basement-dwelling irritants stuffed on cookie dough and pissy beer, pausing between mouthfuls of hot dogs so they can scream Bubba Booey until their jelly faces turn red. He just keeps going. They need to stun the angry, unwashed, Make America Great Again swarm, desperately gripping their concealed carry compensators and belting out a mini erection-inducing mashed potato, hoping to impress their cousin. They need to smash the obnoxious dads with their shiny teeth, Lego man hair, medicated ex-wife, and resentful children. Oh, my God. If I wasn't so lazy, I'd give this guy a standing ovation. How do you get mad? I mean, when a guy goes that hard, how the fuck do you get mad at that? I mean, that's hilarious. Come on, man. You could do the same thing about them. They're fucked up teeth, they're fat fucking fish and chip eating jackasses, neo-Nazi fucking racists beating the fuck out of each other at their fucking stupid ass pussy fucking football games. You can't use your hands. Everybody flopping around the ground. Dude, soccer is such a shitty fucking sport. Women's soccer is actually better than the men's. All right? And I'm just talking legit. I don't mean like volleyball, because they're fucking hotter, dude. Look at the fucking ass on her. I'm not looking at them even remotely even objectifying them. I'm just saying straight up as a sport. The fucking ladies play. Somebody trips them, they get up. These fucking guys are rolling around on the ground. Oh my God, it's like watching musical theater without the fucking music. It's horrific. There, so I did that. Now does my brother have to apologize to me? Fucking standing ovation. I gotta give that guy a shout out. Not to Danny, because Danny then for some reason he has to. He laughed his fucking balls off, in some really comfortable clothes, golfing clothes. He must have been laughing his fucking ass off and just be like, dude, why the fuck did you do that to me? He just goes, after that fucking masterpiece, all right, whether you agree with it or not, that was a fucking Lego man hair, our pissy beer, come on. If they're fucking concealed carry compensators. Okay, and then this is what he says. Off the record, he laughed his balls off. And then on the record, he's just like, I'd just like to apologize to everyone involved. I spoke to him on the phone after I was made aware of what was being said. And I said to Peter, I was obviously disappointed at what was said and what was written about the American fans. They took me under their wing fantastically back in April, I guess when he won the Masters. And as soon as I got off the golf course, I went to see Davis, and me and Davis had a chat for a few minutes about it all. He took it really well, and we took it really well. They were fucking laughing their balls off. And you know what's funny is then they got a picture of the American fans, and there's three people in the photo, and there's not one of them that I would not go out and get shit-faced with. I mean, these are the fucking people. You need those people. These are the people. They're not going to do anything in life. They're going to watch other people do shit in life and go fucking nuts, right? When you accomplish something. And when you don't, they're going to say you suck and talk a bunch of shit about what they would have done, right? Who doesn't love being that guy? They're all draped in the fucking... One guy's dressed like Uncle Sam. Another guy, for whatever reason, he has an American flag shirt, and then he has like a park ranger hat on. Maybe that's a golf thing. And the other guy has got he's got the American flag over his head while wearing a baseball hat. He looks like an old woman, like when he's wearing like a shawl or something. Oh, that's fucking, and there's nothing better too. The dumber the fans are at a golf event when they're around pros, that's one of my favorite things. You know what I mean? Because you just, everything about like tennis and golf is shh, like stop talking, shh. You know what I mean? It's fucking, you look at the fucking NBA. You're going to take a fucking foul shot. Like a third of the stadium is doing everything but taking their dicks out and shaking it in your face. And these guys can consistently make it. How about a little focus? Tennis is the same way. Quiet, please. Quiet, please. You know what I mean? They don't boo, they whistle. Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, October 3rd, 2016. What's going on? How are you? Oh, shit, wait a minute. Today was supposed to be the fucking first day of the pink football, and I didn't see any of that shit out there. Did they abandon it? Did I dream that it went away? They probably walked away. Too many people were getting wise. They made their money. The old filthy, stinking NFL snuck away. With all their pink money to raise awareness. We made our fucking money off of it. We'll maybe it isn't. I don't know. I thought it was in October. Isn't that when the pink lady takes in all that money because everybody's suffering? Fucking asshole. To buy yourself a pink yacht. Isn't that how it works? And then everybody walks around with a little fucking pink pocket square or some shit. Let's take a moment of silence to listen to all the money that is not going towards the disease we all think we're trying to fight right now. Jets pass over, fucking somebody eats some fucking cotton candy, and on to the games. All right, I'm not going to be like this, okay? It's Sunday when I'm recording this. I just got back from a fun weekend. I did 2 nights in Madison, Wisconsin, and then I did a gig in Omaha, Nebraska. Went to the Cornhuskers game versus Illinois, which was a great time. Legendary football stadium. Can't believe I finally got there. Back in the day, I'm going to actually talk to my agent because I used to do so many fucking college gigs back in the day when I was coming up. And then somewhere along the line, you get a following, and then you just go to the city, and you either go to the club, or if you're lucky, you go to a theater or some shit. And somewhere along the line, I just I got out of I want to get back to doing that shit. But all I remember was I did a zillion fucking colleges in Nebraska and Kansas. I was forever flying into fucking Kansas City and driving out to Hayes. Is Hayes, Nebraska, or is it Hayes, Canton? I can't even remember. Dodge City, Grand Junction. I can't remember the names of them. It was so fucking long ago. I just remember when you got on the 80 in Nebraska. Jesus Christ, Cleo, you going to scratch the whole podcast, buddy? Huh? Come here. Let me help you with that. It's under your collar. I got you. There it is. Oh, look at that face. And when they stick their face out a little further. Oh, that's the spot. There it is. Good? All right, great. Okay, anyways. Jesus. Go on, go lay down. Go lay down, buddy. Go on. So you go across the 80. You get about halfway across the state, and there was this weird, like a fucking footbridge would just go across this highway. And major highway. I mean, you can basically take that thing all the way out to San Francisco if you go west, and I think it... I don't know where the hell that one dies. I drove the 70 the whole way. That one dies somewhere. I drove it from picked it up in Utah, off of the 15, drove the 70 all the way into fucking Pennsylvania. Like a madman. I would tell you that. I drove cross country in 3.5 days by myself with all my shit in my car. My big square fucking TV, parking next to, in parking lots, sleeping. I wouldn't even get a fucking hotel room. I got a hotel room one night, but then I had to pick the fucking TV up and take it in. It was just a pain in the ass. So I was just fuck it. The next night I slept in the car. And anyways, I drove like a fucking lunatic, 70, 80 miles an hour the whole way there. And didn't get pulled over till I got to the George Washington Bridge. And that's when I got pulled over, and the cop came up the window and go, it's funny, I drove here all the way from Los Angeles. The guy goes, shut the fuck up and give me a... He didn't give a shit about how I thought it was a funny little moment. That, I just drove fucking 2,500 miles and I didn't have a problem. And I got down to the last 3 miles of my trip. And then I'm getting a ticket. And this man did not give a shit. And he gave me a ticket. So, anyways, I'd done a bunch of college gigs out there. So throughout the years, that's how I went to all the baseball stadiums, football, and all that shit when I was on the road. And every fucking time I would be anywhere near Nebraska, if they had a game, it was always at night, or if they had a game, they were on the road, and I was never able to go. So fortunately, I finally got to go, and it was pretty cool. I actually met Larry the Cable Guy there. I'd never met him, seen him, blow up throughout the years, and got to hang out with him. And he's like the fucking president out there. So, they had that, all their Heisman Trophy winners were there that day. So Mike Rozier came in and I actually got a picture with him and Larry, the cable guy, photobombed it in the background. I was there with Nate Craig. We had a great fucking time. So thanks to Larry for letting us in to his fucking, whatever you call it, the living room, the suite there. It was just great. But anyways, the stadium was amazing. Those people are fucking loud, too. That wasn't like the most riveting game either. Like the first half, of course, the part that I saw before I had to drive back up to Omaha, kind of sucked. And it really sucked because I bet Nebraska and they were given 20.5 points. And halfway through the second quarter, I'm just thinking, why the fuck would I give 20.5 points to Lovie Smith? This guy fucking coached in the NFL. Sorry, I'm yawning here. Guy coached in the NFL for like, I don't know how many goddamn years. Now he's at the college level. I'm going to give this guy 20.5 fucking points. And Larry kept going, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We scored more points in the fourth quarter than anybody else. And they actually came back and they made it close. But by then I was long gone. And we drove up and had a great show in Omaha, which I've never done a gig there. I've landed at that fucking airport a zillion times, but I have never did like an adult show. There was always like a college show. So it was just a great fucking weekend. I got to tell you, the longer I live, the more urge I have. Like I was out in Nebraska and I was fucking in like Wisconsin and I was envious. I was like, look at all this fucking space these people have. Look at these trees. Look at they have water. Shit doesn't just catch on fire out here. Sure, they got them tornadoes out there. You know? But I went down this road when I was in Wisconsin. I swear to God, it's like one of those roads that they shoot a car commercial on. And I was just out there, like in Nebraska, going, this right here, this is where you could actually, you could have a fast car. You could ride a fucking motorcycle and not worry that someone's going to fucking kill you every 3 seconds. You could actually get your car, up to 80, 90 miles an hour out here. LA, you got to try to do it at 3 a.m, and you get on the fucking highway, and that's the only time those poor bastards can try to fix the fucking thing. So then they have it all go down to one lane, and you're sitting in traffic again at 3 a.m. So it's beautiful. I fucking love Wisconsin, man. I'm a big fan of Milwaukee too. And Nebraska was the shit. And anyways, I made an ass of myself as always when I landed in Nebraska because we had to get up at 7 a.m. Because I thought the fucking game was at 12:30. I don't know if when I was out here when I bought the tickets, if it just said it was just doing like Pacific Coast time because we were 2 hours behind them. I don't know why you would do that. So I thought the game was at 12:30. So I got like 7 a.m. flights out of fucking Madison, Wisconsin, Canton, Chicago, O'Hare, which is always a nightmare. That fucking airport's like 9 miles long, right? So we fucking we connect there and then we land. And when I got off, I was so fucking tired. And I'd gone out the night before like a fucking asshole. And when I landed, I saw this kid when I was going to the rental car place. He had this Kansas Jayhawks shirt on. And I've always loved Kansas. I don't know why. Just one year I started watching them. I just liked them, And so I've always wanted to go to the field house and everything. So I saw it and I was like half asleep. And I was just like, oh shit, Kansas, you Jayhawks fan? He goes, yeah. I go, they play in Lincoln or Omaha? Like I wasn't even thinking. Like, and the kid's like, they play in Lawrence, Kansas. And I just walked away. And I was so fucking tired, it didn't even hit me till Nate started laughing at me. I was like, oh my God, he's going to think I'm a fucking idiot. He was like, hey, I listened to the podcast and everything. I was just like, oh yeah, Kansas. Do they play in Nebraska? That's basically what I said to him. And he just sort of looked at me like, no. He probably walked away like, wow, that really isn't an act. He really is that fucking stupid. All right, comic book stuff. Dear Billy Unbreakable, we all know how you hate Comic Con stuff. I don't. It's just they're an easy target and I'm lazy. You know what I mean? I don't know. Although I recently watched some reality. I was on a plane, right? I was on the plane. And there was some show, and there was just these guys standing around in, what the fuck? It's a comic book store out here. And I started to watch it, and they were all doing that fucking, if this comic book guy fought that comic book guy. And I can't sit through that, but I can sit through, dude, who is better, Gretzky or Lemieux? I'm telling you, if Lemieux didn't have those years off, I'll fucking stay in that forever. But, you know, I can't get into comic book shit as much as, you know, I liked the superheroes when I was growing up. But then, you know, I got older and I grew up. All right. Superhero movies and Loot Crate. I don't hate that shit. I just like making fun of it. He said, you've mentioned in the past the only superhero you liked was Luke Cage, a.k.a. Power Man. No, I like Spider-Man too. Captain America, Iron Man. Batman was cool. More the comic book. On TV was, you know, I liked that show when I was younger, but then it was just sort of silly, too campy for me. I liked the Heath Ledger Batman. And I loved that Christian Bale, you know, even if everybody made fun of his voice, it fucking made sense that he would change the sound of his fucking voice. You know? You guys know what my voice sounded like. If I had a 3/4 fucking mask on and I just started talking to you, you'd be like, dude, what the fuck's with the mask, Bill? You know? Anyways. Well, you should be excited to know he has his own Netflix series now. Get the fuck out of here. Luke Cage does. It's super popular and getting attention, not just because it's great, but also because it's topical. It knowingly acknowledges the significance of a bulletproof African-American wearing a hoodie. Through the series, Luke engages with police officers who shoot him and leave holes in his hoodies. The police often interrogate and harass black people in Harlem who have done nothing wrong. Oh, I got to watch that. He goes, my questions are, do you still like Luke Cage? Will you watch the series? Yes. Do you think it's good to acknowledge Trayvon Martin and the Black Lives Matter movement in this way? Yeah, why not? When you watch those Pixar movies, they talk about global warming. You know, they had the ant thing and they go, you know, one ant's not tough, but you got to, if all the ants start moving, they could take us over. That was all about like the fucking Bilderberg people. If they can do all of that shit, why can't they bring up that stuff? I love it. Is that a good way to acknowledge this? First of all, who the fuck am I to say that? That's not an issue that has made my life like, I don't have to worry about my life. You know what I mean? So I would ask, why don't you ask black people that? Do you think it's good to acknowledge? Anyways, love your podcast and your stand-up. Greetings from Ontario. Yeah, I'm just like, I like when, as much as I like Superman versus Batman. All right? I like when they do the comic book stuff, and as much as, like, you know, the people can fly and they're fucking the size of an ant and shit like that, the more reality that they bring into it, the more grounded that they keep it, the more I like it. And I know Superman versus fucking Batman, they're like, Jesus, how many people did they fucking kill? That never entered my mind. I didn't give a shit. They're like, they did billions of dollars worth of damage. Who gives a fuck? My favorite thing was they were saying that superhero can't be out there acting unilaterally. Like they didn't like that Superman was going around just helping everybody, regardless of, whether they would trade with the United States or not. And I just love that the United States felt that they could claim Superman. It was fucked up. I guess he got adopted by United States parents and he did get a free education. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? You know what? I stand by the American government on that one. No, but the more that they can bring in like the just the real world reality, I think that shit's great. And the dark, I mean, in the comic books, isn't it always like dark, depressing? They're fucking loners. Like, I never liked the X-Man thing. It just sounded like a bunch of whiny teenagers to me. They didn't go dark enough or make it adult enough. It was probably for teenage kids. Who's kidding who? It probably wasn't for a fucking bald 48-year-old male. We got to get these guys. This is our demographic. These are the guys that are going to buy all the fucking swag. I actually, when I was a kid, I read comic books, and I really liked the drawings and the different ways that they would go about it. And when sometimes they take up a whole page and they draw something, or they'd have like 3 of the squares would all, like, a bullet got shot, and they just show where it went and stuff. Like, I really liked it, and I thought it was incredibly talented in that thing. But I stopped short of like dressing up like them and having like a fucking lightsaber fight. You know what I mean? I guess that's where you lose me. And, to be honest with you, what I'm doing is what a lot of people do is I'm taking, like, most golf fans are not like those fucking animals at the Ryder Cup screaming and yelling like a bunch of fucking lunatics. You know what I mean? A lot of them are, I went to the Masters. The people were fucking cool. But it's just fun to make fun of them, I guess. Jesus, Bill, did you retract everything that you've ever said about it? Sort of. I'm trying to be a better fucking person, man. I gotta stop. Like, that the word cunt and all this stuff, like, just flies out of me in public, and it's getting worse. And, it's gotten to the point where now it actually, for the first time in my life, like, embarrasses me. So I'm trying to see the other side of that. And I know people are like, well, then you're not going to be funny anymore. Believe me, I will fuck up plenty in my life. I don't need to be screaming cunt when there's children around in a fucking airport.
All right, Russia readies for war? War? Hey, Bill, did you hear Russia called all its foreign dignitaries back to the homeland? This isn't uncommon before an attack, but also probably just a scare tactic. If one day someone came on the news and said Russia threatened to bomb the West Coast, what would your state of mind be? I would be completely chill. Would you be like, nah, never going to happen? Or would you get in your new green car and hit the road with the lovely Nia and Cleo in tow? No. No, if Russia attacks us, I want to be the first person to get killed. Yeah, I don't want to live through that. I have no desire to live through a fucking world war. You know what I mean? It's one thing to actually be in the army, you know what I mean? And you got a group of pals and shit. But if you're going to be like the fucking, just the old farmer in the town, wondering which army's coming up the road next, I don't need that shit. Yeah. That's like the fat fuck there in North Korea when he said he was going to shoot a missile at Los Angeles. It's like, great, I hope you shoot it right at my house. I like the way the world is right now. And whatever, I was going to use the word cataclysmic, but I was worried that I wouldn't say it right. Whatever fucking major thing happens, like, I don't want to survive it. I want to be the first person to go and, like, just be sitting there with my fucking little downloaded music, listening to it, and then it's over. And then when, like, all the rest of this shit happens, I don't want to fucking live through it. Start all over again, Fucking people getting polio again and the mumps.
So anyways, I'm going to be warming up for my special starting Saturday night in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Okay? I'm just going to walk around to anybody who's in government, right? And I'm just going to scream, really? In their face. That's my goal during the week. Just walk down the street just saying that to everybody. I'm just blaming them because my choices are Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. That's just what I'm doing. Anybody with a fucking blue blazer and a red or a blue tie, I'm grabbing them by the shoulder. You're not going to do that. But I would love to do it. I would like to do it, but post 9/11, you can't walk around doing shit like that, and I don't want to get into a fight. I'm an old man, I'm going to tell you that time I went down, I looked at the Pentagon like about 6 months after 9/11. I must have told you that story, right? Post 9/11, all right, I was in New York on 9/11. I was on the Upper East Side, the East 70s, all the way by the East River. And, there's a lot of, like, old wives' tales told by people who lived in New York during that time. Dude, you wouldn't have known anything was going on. It was a fucking beautiful day. And even as it went down, as it collapsed and all that, when I walked outside, I didn't see anything in the air or anything. I mean, that was like a couple of miles away. And if it wasn't on television, I never would have even known that it happened. All I remember was walking around the Upper East Side, trying to block out what the fuck just happened, like a typical German-Irish Catholic. Sad feelings, block them out, act like nothing's happening. And I just remember walking around up there and like there was people, it was so weird to me because Upper East Side, there are a bunch of, people who actually could afford to buy an apartment. A lot of them came from fucking money or what, I don't know what the hell they did. But I remember them sitting outside on that beautiful sunny day where that horror was going down there and they were eating, breakfast and shit. And everybody had that weird sort of like, I feel like I should be doing something, but what? Can I get the salmon on the eggs Benedict? So, I went down and I saw, like, after 9/11, remember that one piece of the World Trade was standing up? I went down, I saw that. And I remember down the Comedy Cellar for months after, like a month after, was still burning. I'll never forget that smell. So when I went down to D.C., I mean, I knew, by then you knew that this was a changing moment in history. And it was just like, I wanted to see, like, go over to the Pentagon and see how bad the damage was. So I didn't realize, I was such an idiot. I didn't realize that the Pentagon is like the Pentagon. I thought the Pentagon was also kind of like the Lincoln Memorial. Like you could just kind of go to it as a tourist, which you can. But there's like a subway stop and you just get off at the Pentagon. And I'm walking around. There's all these people in like plain clothes. And then you'd see people in like Air Force outfits or Marine outfits. And so I was thinking, all right, they work here, but everybody else in plain clothes is like me. I didn't realize that they all kind of fucking work there and it's like an office. It's a giant fucking office building in the shape of a Pentagon. So I start looking around. It's basically a circle with points on it, right? That's what a Pentagon is. How many sides to a Pentagon, Bill? Oh, I don't know. It's more than 5. It's a triangle, then there's a hexagon, then there's a proplexagon. I don't know what the fuck it is. And you know what? I knew it when I had to know it for the test, and that's never come up in my life. You know what I mean? You got a quartet, you got a quintet, that's jazz. I'm out of math, I'm into jazz. But isn't music just numbers put together beautifully? Sorry. So I'm standing there in this pointy fucking circle going, do I go to the right? Do I go to the left? I kind of go left, then I go right, then I start walking back left. Then I'm just fucking start walking around this thing. I'm trying to peek around the corner. I'm like, maybe I should have gone the other way. And I'm basically not realizing it. I'm looking shifty as hell. And of course, there's like 50 fucking cameras on me. Like, what the fuck is this dude doing, right? And I'm walking, I'm looking around, and all of a sudden, this fucking, was it a Jeep or a golf cart? I don't know what, just pulls up next to me. And this fucking guy gets out. Like, when Powers Booth ever plays a military guy, he was like that with a beret. Like, that's how much he was decorated, it seemed. No, he didn't have all that shit, but he had some shit on his fucking shirt, all right? And he had the beret, and I remember he got out, and he was like doing that thing. You know when someone's about ready to snap your neck and they're smiling at the same time? Like, that was the look on his face. Like he was showing me his teeth, smiling, but everything else just basically said is, I'm going to pull your fucking throat out like MacGruber. And he came up and he's just like, hey, buddy, what are you doing? And he was like looking through to the back of my head. And immediately I was just like, oh, then I didn't know what to say. And I was like, oh my God, what if he knew one of the people that died here? And then I was kind of, I'm a comedian. I'm in town playing Teddy's House of Comedy. And just, then he fucking took my name. And then it dawned on me why they were coming up to me. And the whole thing just made sense. Like, oh, this is like a military building, Bill. This isn't the Jefferson Memorial. You're walking around one of the most top secret fucking places and you're looking around and you look like a crazy white guy, right? So then it just struck me as funny. And then I was trying to hold back a laugh, right? Classic white privilege here, right? I could actually have this guy come up to me outside the Pentagon and I can still find the humor in it because I know I'm not going to get arrested, right? Is that what white privilege is? I don't know. I'm stuck in this wonderful fucking position. I'm just going to stare into that now and people just say white privilege. And I'll be like, oh yeah, it's unbelievable. Woo! Anyways, what was I saying? Okay, so the fucking guy, he's taking down my name, and then I kind of have like this shit-eating grin on my face because, at that point, they all kind of, because it was the guy who drove the Jeep, who was like fucking Tom Cruise in Taps. He just couldn't let it go, right? So I kind of feel him staring at me like a fucking lunatic. And I'm like, well, if this guy here with all this shit on his shirt, I can feel him letting me go. You're not going to arrest me, the driver of the Jeep. You join the military to be a fucking chauffeur? Go fuck yourself. So now the comic in me is starting to come up and I want to irritate this guy. So I really start fucking smiling or whatever. I was like, yeah, man, sorry. I go, hey, man, you want to come out to the show? And blah, blah, blah. And the guy, he's kind of gone down from I'm going to fucking rip your throat out to kind of like, maybe I'll just, I don't know what, stick a bayonet in your side. He's kind of down to that. Is that less? I don't know. Whatever the fuck it is. I'll just waterboard you. His look of craziness is I'm just going to waterboard you now. And I get to the end, and he's like, all right. And he gets in the Jeep, and the other guy was just staring fucking like daggers at me, the Jeep, and I was just looking right at him, smiling. And he goes, you're free to keep walking around this thing, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, nah, man, I'm cool. Like, I don't need anybody else driving up to me with a fucking Jeep. So they go to drive away. And as they were driving away, I remember the guy in the Jeep, the guy driving, like, yelled. I think he was trying to make me jump. Like, he drove away and just heard this, like that. And I didn't jump. And I just without, like, looking back, I just put my hand up and waved at him. And that's my fucking Pentagon story.
All right, Westworld. Hey, Billy Bot, I'm fascinated with artificial intelligence. You mentioned Westworld in a 60-minute piece last week, and I wanted to share with you this perspective on AI. Westworld is the most compelling aspect of AI's advancement. Westworld is the most... I think he meant to go Westworld. He goes, the most compelling aspect of AI's advancement is that when it does in fact surpass the human brain in all aspects and begins to consider self-preservation, it will happen almost completely overnight as far as the public is concerned. I suggest you watch this short TED Talk by Sam Harris. I actually watched that. We will put up the link. He also talks about the political implications on the world stage, i.e., would China launch an attack if they thought we were dangerously close to losing control of our technology? It seems as if... See, this is why, I already can't read. This guy writes a sentence. It seems as if, though, you would need all world leaders. As if, though? Is that grammatically correct? Oh, it seems as if, comma, which isn't there, though you would need all world leaders and tech leaders to focus their efforts on controlling the AI instead of advancing it further, period. I don't know how to read that sentence. This seems unlikely. It'd be like jerking off to just the point before completion for the rest of eternity. Good luck out there. Oh, yeah, all the world leaders would want to try to control it. It's not going to happen. I don't understand why we're doing it. And I don't understand why there has to be these constant technological improvements. It's just all based on money. I mean, what if it just stopped right here? Like, how fucking great is your life right now? If you're in a first world country, you're not the person putting together these devices that makes our lives so great in a third world country. It's fine. We should have just we're just sitting at the blackjack table rather than just taking our winnings and just going back to our room. We're just fucking sitting here, and eventually we're just gonna crap out. We're gonna lose it all. I absolutely believe that 100%. And I think it is just so fucked up, weird, and bizarre that even if you're not a conspiracy theorist, what is the fucking purpose of making robots to this goddamn level? You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of fucking weirdos at the top. I'm telling you, they want to phase out the rest of us, and they just want a bunch of zombies that will do whatever the fuck they want them to do, and that they can fuck and do whatever the hell they want to them. And then eventually they'll just take them over and they'll fucking kill them. Or is that like one of the many movies that I've watched about it? Anyways, I'm a paranoid psycho, but I think in this instance, I think it's good to be paranoid. All right. I was listening to NPR, right? Well, my wife was listening to it, and I was tolerating it. I like some of the fucking music, but just like their politics, it's so childlike to just be sitting there leaning all the way to one fucking side. It's just like, really? Nobody with a blue tie does anything wrong? Everybody with a red tie is an asshole? It's like fucking political, like racism in a way. But everybody thinks that they're a fucking saint, one of the dumbest things ever in those Trump rallies, like, somebody had like a sign or a T-shirt that says "fuck your feelings." I love how people on the right just think they're so fucking like hardcore and like, you know, people can't handle the truth. You know what I mean? You know what they're like? People on the right that are like that. They're like those, you know, like, you ever meet some chick and she'll just say some shit like, you know, guys are intimidated by me. You know, they can't handle me, you know? And then, you know, joke I used to do with my actors, like, you ever think maybe you're just a cunt? You know? I mean, I'm not saying you are, but that's definitely a possibility. You know, that could be behind door number 3 and that could be the fucking answer. You know, you self-involved shithead. I don't know. And then like people on the left. I remember one time I had a small part in a movie and we were shooting in New Orleans, and at our hotel, like this big Republican convention was coming. So they had this big banner. It was all in red. So one of the producers on the movie she was just like, "Oh my God, did you see that banner?" I was just like, Jesus. Where am I right now? And I just looked at her, I was like, you know, people are allowed to be Republicans. And she just goes, "Oh, I know, I'm just being that person. But they fucking drive me up the wall." Well, gee, Bill, aren't you just the perfect fucking person? You know what I am? I'm a fucking conspiracy theorist. And once you become that, you know, you lose a lot of friends. You drive people nuts, but you start trying to look behind whatever the fuck they're showing you. And like, I don't think it fucking matters which person wins this, because, you know, the people on the other side, because they're making you fucking pay for the center ice package on TV and now on cable, they got an extra revenue stream. They're selling all your fucking information, and they got all this money. They put money on both horses, so it doesn't fucking matter. So I'm listening to NPR with my wife, and they just sort of casually mentioned that scientists said the Great Barrier Reef is now dead. And you know what they segued into after that? The results of the Dodgers game. So, I don't know. I just think, well, we're completely fucked. And I want to thank whoever created the Great Barrier Reef. I'm sorry, we finally wrapped it around a fucking tree. That's what we're like. We're like a bunch of fucking rich kids, and our parents bought us this beautiful fucking car, and we're just out there doing neutral drops and fucking slamming it into trees. And we're gonna fuck the whole thing up, you know. But unlike rich kids' parents, I don't think mommy's gonna get us another car.
Oh, you know what I started to watch? Before I came down. I'm taping this Sunday night. I started to watch the Trump-Hillary debate. I mean, I just still cannot fucking believe these are our two choices. And, dude, Trump, I got to give it up to Trump, dude. That guy's one-liners are just, for a politician, Jesus Christ, he kills. The guy fucking kills. He's great on his feet. He'd make a terrible president. He's got no idea what the fuck he's doing or what he's even talking about. It's just like the dope versus the devil. You know, and I know everybody, that old fucking, you know, that shit that he said, I just go up, I grab him by the pussy. I mean, nobody just does that. I felt bad for Billy Bush. You know, he was just sitting there. He's sitting there, some fucking unknown, 2005, you know. He's still kind of unknown, you know. Billy Bush, I'm going to talk about people who are in movies. He's not in a movie, you know. He's a talking head. Cut the guy a little slack. He's sitting there with the Don. The Don's talking shit. He's talking about women, you know, as guys do. I just walk right up and I kiss him. I grab him right by the pussy. You know, Billy's just like, this is Donald Trump. Like, you know, you get caught up in the fame. Oh, yeah, grab him by the pussy. He just went along with it. You know, stay strong, Billy Bush. You shouldn't have deleted your fucking Twitter account, man. You should have hung in there. Fuck these people. They get mad for like 3 fucking days. You know what I mean? It's unfucking believable. He's going to get more shit for that than fucking Hillary's going to get for the goddamn, you know, classified fucking emails. Classified information through her own fucking email, and just somehow that all goes under the rug. I cannot stand. I can tell when Hillary's lying too. That smile she does, you can see it in her eyes when she's lying. And Trump is like, I just don't. He's like a fucking cartoon character. Like Alec Baldwin as Trump is more believable than Trump as Trump. That's how fucking nuts this guy is. So I started to watch it. Oh man, Trump had some funny ones. He said to Hillary, he said, if I was running this country, you'd be in jail.
Did I ever tell you guys a Scientology story? So, this is like fucking, I don't know how many years ago. This is, Bill Clinton was still in office, I think, when this happened. And basically, I need to take an acting class. I'm living in Los Angeles. And I needed to take an acting class, right? So, whatever. So somebody suggested this fucking place, and I went over there. I think it was the Beverly Hills Playhouse was the name of this fucking place. And I went over there, and I show up for the acting class, and the teacher goes, this is so fucking weird. He just goes, oh, his big class was packed. And it was a well-known actor too, so I was like, "Wow, man, this is going to be a fucking great class." And it was a great class, other than the fucking creepy vibe. So to start the class, the guy goes, "Okay, does anybody have any news they want to share with the class?" All right, so people raised their hands, and basically it was actors talking about what they booked that week, and and there's a thing, I guess, amongst actors as you're starting out, you get envious and you get jealous. So I guess this was a reaction to this. What this whole exercise was about. People would put their hands up. This is like, fucking the mid-'90s or some shit. And someone would be like, yeah, I just booked, I booked a guest star on Friends. And then the whole class, like ridiculously loud and for a ridiculous amount of time would just go, whoa, whoa, like clapping and screaming like somebody just cured cancer. And then it all died down. I was just like, what the fuck was that? And then somebody else goes, oh yeah, hey, I just booked a reoccurring on Union Square. Whoa, it's been crazy. So then once that shit dies down, I was immediately like, hey, man, I knew L.A. was a little different, but what the fuck is this? They go, hey, we got a couple of new students here auditing the class. He just moved here from New York City. Please welcome Bill Burr. And they clapped and cheered just as loud as they did for the other people that booked like Friends. But here's the thing, when they were cheering, no one was looking at anyone. They were just sort of staring straight ahead, clapping and screaming as loud as you possibly could. And I remember my face turned red, like I got embarrassed, like what the fuck? And then that's when I after the class, we took the first break, and the actor teaching the class, and the actors were great, other than the weird vibe, right? So I fucking go up there, and the guy goes, "How you doing?" And I looked at him, I was like, "Doing good." Because he's a great actor, he totally read me. He goes, the beginning of the class was that a little bit too much? I was like, yeah, it might have been. So I go into the back. Now they're going to try to get the money out of me like every acting class does. This is nothing against Scientology. So that's when I sat down, and that's when the guy was just like, we're very self-sufficient. We have our own security. We have our own parking. Everything was their own. And that's when I said, Jesus Christ. I just had to break the tension. It was so fucking weird. So I just made this joke. Jesus Christ, I feel like I'm joining a cult. It was me and this other kid sitting there. I don't know what the fuck ever happened to him. I don't know if he's clear yet or he fucking moved back to Iowa. I have no idea what. But the guy made like this weird face when I said it. And so I left, and I was like, wow, that was fucking weird. But it was still like it was a good class, though, And I really liked acting class and that type of shit. And so I was still kind of on the fence. And I ended up running into somebody later on that night, I think at the Laugh Factory, and I mentioned, and the person was like, where was the class? And I said it was at Beverly Hills Playhouse. And he just goes, Bill, that's Scientology. Go, get the fuck out of here. It's an acting class. They said, no, but they're trying to recruit you into that religion. So I got all fucking weirded out. And, they just kept calling, leaving messages on my fucking answer machine. And then that's, finally they called again, and I'd been ducking them for like 3 days. And after 3 days, I was just like, I thought they were watching me and shit. I got all fucking paranoid. Not saying they were, but I just, I mean, I'm a fucking conspiracy theorist. Last thing I need is an actual cult fucking hounding me. That was not good for my psyche. So finally, after 3 days, they called again. And that's just, I was like, what am I, a fucking bitch? I can't just call these people up and say, go fuck yourself. So I just picked up the phone. I'm like, hello. And they're like, hey, Beverly Hills Playhouse. I go, yeah, man, I'm all set. And the guy's like, oh, did we lose you? I was like, yeah, you did. All right, don't call me anymore. He goes, okay, fine. And then that was it. They left me alone. But I think it's because it was early on. So I didn't have to deal with Donald Sutherland like when I walked out to my car later on that night, just pointing at me like an invasion of the body snatchers. Not to say that Scientology is any more or less fucked up than my religion, I've always maintained that if the Inquisition was filmed, like my religion wouldn't exist anymore. That's what happened with the Nazis. They filmed this shit, so no one's ever going to forget it. The shit that my religion did was never filmed, so it's just like stick figures and drawings, and no one cares. You know what I mean? But to actually have the actual footage of like, oh yes, not only did it really happen, this is what it looked like. It's a fucking wrap. What am I talking about? All right, let's get back to fucking the subjects here I wanted to talk about instead of Scientology and Holocaust footage.